it's just kind of a no-brainer to me to hire Paul and Paul's team when they know very much what they're doing. And like I said, having somebody else do it and mess with it gives you the time to work on growing your business and doing all the things that need to be done in your business.
First question is, tell me who you are and a little bit about your PT clinic.
Jason Miller, and I own Syntex Rehab in Harker Heights and in Belton. We have a pediatric clinic for PT, OT, and speech, and 2 adult clinics offering physical occupational therapy and speech in Harker Heights and in Belton as well.
So next one is, tell me about your experience in hiring Paul's team and what have you gotten out of being in this program?
Are we talking about the online domination thing or just Paul? Okay, so basically I've gotten time out of hiring Paul's team. I don't have to fiddle with Facebook ads or Google ads and learn all that stuff, which it's a constantly changing media that I don't know or understand. And so to be able to take that and hand it off to somebody else, the first thing that it bought me was time, and the second thing that it got me were leads, and leads that we could work with and converting into a discovery visit and then eventually convert into a plan of care.
Yep. So tell me why you felt, try that again. Why you felt compelled to want to share your experience about working with us in private practice marketer / online domination.
Mainly because of the ease. It really is, just like I said, it's so hard to learn all that stuff that if you can find somebody who's good at doing it to do it for you, then I recommend it fully. It's just kind of a no-brainer to me to hire Paul and Paul's team when they know very much what they're doing. And like I said, having somebody else do it and mess with it gives you the time to work on growing your business and doing all the things that need to be done in your business. I don't have time to mess with Facebook and Google at all. And so I recommend that anybody who has the ability to hire somebody else, especially Paul's team, that they do that.
Such high praise.
Well, it's true. Yeah. It's so easy.
So tell me what you love most about hiring Paul's team and why.
Again, I have to go back to the time that it affords me. It's all about the time. The second thing that really kind of comes with that is the results, obviously. If I was hiring a team to do my online ads for me and I wasn't getting anything from it, then I wouldn't be happy with it and I wouldn't be recommending it. But being able to see leads come in daily and weekly, is really the best thing that comes out of it. You have your time, you have the leads that come into it, and then also the kind of hand holding and walking through of everything, with my monthly reports, my monthly report calling, where they show everything and they change everything up and strategize. This was working, so we're going to leave that alone until it doesn't work, and then it starts to slow down. Hey, I think we need to try something else, and me being able to say, yeah, it sounds good, and knowing that it's in good hands, that they actually know what they're doing is it's very pacifying. I don't have to mess with it. I don't have to worry about it.
And tell me about the major problems you were facing before you hired Paul's team.
The major problem that I was facing is, again, I have to go back to time. I was wasting so much time just trying to learn about Facebook, and I didn't even mess with Google. It was just too hard. When I first started my practice, I started working with Google and trying to place Google ads, and somehow I managed to spend a bunch of money, but never see a result of it. I never even saw my own ad whenever I was looking for it. So, being able to just turn that over and let somebody else handle it was a godsend. I had a little bit of luck with Facebook, but again, I was spending just hours and hours and hours learning it, and then designing the ad, and then trying to get it approved, which if anybody's ever tried to get an ad approved for Facebook in healthcare, it's tricky at best to get that ad through. So having somebody else who knew all the tricks and knew all the ways around everything was just unbelievable to me.
And how did you know it was time to do something different?
That's a good question. Because I started with Paul, and I had you guys doing this initially, and I left. I was getting leads, but I fell into the mistake of what probably a lot of people do is thinking that the leads I got were bad, and so I quit. And when you stop doing advertising, your leads drop. And so I was getting no leads. And I figured I kind of, even though I left Paul's group, I still kind of hovered around and watched it. And I could kind of see that people were still being successful with it. And really got to the point where my business was wasn't close to failing, but it was starting to head in that direction, and it scared me. And I clearly was unable to do it. I tried to do it. I tried to get into online marketing, and I just couldn't make it work. And other people seemed to be able to make it work through Paul's group. And so that's when I joined back in and said, I kind of dipped my toe into it a little bit and got some success with it. And then I kind of became a true believer, where I was like, just handle everything you can possibly handle, where I don't have to mess with it because you guys know what you're doing. I think the team's gotten so big now, and they've scaled so much that they just really know what they're doing and can help much more efficiently than one person can do on their own.
Yep. What has changed in your business since joining Private Practice Marketer? So what do you do now differently since you started working with us?
We sell. We really work on selling. There's a difference between marketing and selling, and I let you guys handle the marketing, and we have really worked on our ability to sell ourselves and sell our services. And between the two, we've become very successful.
And tell me how your monthly revenue has increased since you started working with us.
Oh my gosh, I had a goal. I remember when I first started, I was making $30,000 a month, and I remember really hoping to crack 50,000. And whenever I got right around 49 or 50,000, and was like, it would be great to make 60. If I could just make 60. I didn't think there was any way we could make 60. But with the marketing that we've done, we've just grown. And so I've been able to bring on new staff and kind of fix our processes. And the very first month I said, I really want to shoot for 60. That month we did 75,000. And so it's really, at the end of the day, it just comes down to how much money you're making. And if you're making the money that you need to make in order to sustain and grow your business, then that's all that matters. And so we've been able to do that. But I remember hitting 75,000 when I was just shooting for 60, and it's a great feeling. Super great.
That is really good news.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you're going for one goal and you completely surpass it and hit another.
Right.
Which, yeah, especially when you're not expecting it, is like, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So what would you say about the support from me and the team, and how valuable is it?
Oh, it's unbelievably valuable. I mean, you just can't get past. I think there's the reports that come with it, and I enjoy the reports just because I'm a reports type person. But it's really nice to know that if I don't have time to get into the nitty gritty of the course, I'm going to have a call that will take everything and explain it to me. And the monthly calls are really valuable, just because it kind of forces you to take a look at it, but then to kind of go, where exactly are we? I know we've got referrals coming in, and I know we've got leads and opt-ins on the website, but how many do I have? Because it's easy just to kind of go, oh, we got some, but the calls kind of put a little bit of accountability on myself, because I take a look at everything and go, how many leads did we actually get, in order to be able to answer y'all's questions a whole lot better. whenever it comes to trying to determine what we're going to do in the future.
And what was your big goal for joining private practice marketer even? And how did we help you to achieve it? So for example, more profit, a fuller schedule, drop insurance, more conversions, that kind of thing.
So it always goes back to money for me. I want money. And so whenever my goal was to make more money, more profit, not even necessarily more revenue, but more profit, and being able to have the leads and the revenue coming in really kind of buys you a lot of time to look at your business and go, this is where we're profitable and this is where we're not. We need to fine tune that to increase the profit without necessarily having to work more.
And what would you say to other business owners currently thinking about hiring Paul's team in private practice marketer?
Do it. Just do it. That's I don't have a big spiel for that except just to do it. It's a no-brainer, really, to be able to turn that over and have the time back and to have a team who knows what they're doing and can actually get you results is worth every penny you can spend on it.
Yeah, we're down to the final 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for some reason, the way it's laid out, it's like, here's some questions, and then it says, and finally, and then gives another 6.
That's funny.
Okay, so why was joining private practice marketer worth the money?
Because you get your money back. I mean, just plain and simple. You're initially going to get your money back in the time that it frees up for you. And if you're good at selling and you're good at converting the leads that you get, then it will bring in more money than you'll spend on it. So it's just a no-brainer.
Did you have any reservations about hiring us prior to saying yes?
Again, I was starting to, I don't know that I did have reservations about just kind of getting back into Paul's world. Once I got into Paul's world and I started to kind of implement the stuff that was being recommended, and it started to work, I started to go, I bet they know what they're doing with this. And so I remember Cameron handed me an envelope at one of the mastermind events, and I was like, yes, do it. Let's just do it. It's worth the money.
And how do you feel about that decision now?
That's great. I mean, like I said, the proof is in the pudding, and I've got leads and we're able to convert them and get money off of it. So I don't regret that decision at all.
What do you want other business owners to know about private practice marketer that they could understand as a business owner?
Again, I go back to the time. Business owners have no time at all whatsoever, and everybody is just desperately trying to figure out how to squeeze more time into their day. And if you can take something and hand it off to somebody else that knows what they're doing and can generate more patients coming into you, then it's worth it. It's just going to not only do the results that they promise get delivered, you still have, at the very least, you get more time to actually do the other stuff, to actually focus on your business and increase that profit.
What was the most valuable takeaway from your experience?
The most valuable takeaway, really, I guess I was always a believer in Facebook, but not so much in Google. And the fact that Google's worked so well, and that I guess the most valuable takeaway is kind of what we talked about earlier, is that really it's just creating many more touch points for a potential patient. And they might see you on Facebook and not do anything. They might see you on Google and not do anything. And they might hear about you from a friend and not do anything. But then when they go to the doctor and the doctor says, I think you need physical therapy, there's been all these different touch points around that have already been made for you, that they go, yeah, let me try physical therapy. Can you send me to Syntex? Can you send me to wherever? It's not the one Google ad, and it's not the one Facebook ad. It's the fact that you're touching them and being in front of them several times before they ever make that decision.
And the final one, what are business owners missing by not being part of Private Practice Marketer?
They're missing money. And that's what everybody that's what everybody needs and wants in their business. If you don't get this and you don't learn how to sell, then you're missing out on an extra source of revenue. We look at doctors' referrals as just kind of low-hanging fruit. We go after it, we take it, but it is not by anything the main thing that we go after. And I think if you're just focusing on doctors' referrals only and taking lunches and donuts to doctors all the time, then you're missing out on a huge potential source of money that can come to you another way.
Thanks for watching this video, and if you found it helpful, and if you now find yourself thinking, I wonder what else this person can help me with, head over to paulgough.com/books, where you can find my best-selling books, which will show you how to add more profit to your practice. Or send an email to paul@paulgough.com to ask about how we can help you accelerate the growth and profitability of your clinic. And by the way, if you know anybody who would find this helpful, please share this video out. Thanks so much.